Do you know what it feels like to give up hope? I do. I started Utne Reader in 1984 to change the world, to help bring on what I called the emerging culture. But now, as I write these words 35 years later, things are only getting worse. My sense of hope had its roots in the 60s. I was an idealist back then. Like many baby boomers, I rejected the Vietnam War and the establishment's materialistic values. I believed that we were living at the dawn of a new age, and that the world was getting more democratic, more just, and more free through the power of love. When I got my hands on the first Whole Earth catalog in early 1969, I knew I'd found my Bible. It was massive, a thick black tabloid-sized paperback. Its cover featured a NASA photograph of planet Earth taken from outer space. There it was, our celestial home, a shimmering orb pulsing with life, floating in space, laced with eddies of wispy white clouds. Oceans, grasslands, and forests glistened in blues and greens. Deserts too hot for cloud cover sat sun-baked and blood-red. There were no borders. The catalog was an eclectic field guide and operating manual for building the new culture, with reviews and excerpts of such essential tools as the works of Buckminster Fuller and Carlos Castaneda, the I Ching, the Dome Cookbook, and the survival arts of the primitive Paiutes, how-to guides on keeping bees, making teepees, and building solar panels, tips on where to get the best calculators, desert moccasins, kerosene lamps, and baby carriers, and much more. Editor Stuart Brand proclaimed his publication's purpose on the first page. We are as gods and might as well get good at it. I took that statement to mean that humans, among all God's creatures, have extraordinary, awesome, and perhaps inordinate powers to affect the rest of life on Earth, for good or for ill. Having so much power, Brand seemed to be saying, we really ought to learn to use it wisely. I thought it was a statement of humility, not hubris. By some estimates, as many as 1 million young people moved from the cities to the countryside in the late 60s and early 70s. By far the largest mass urban exodus in U.S. history. Many more began living communally in the cities. I turned on to LSD and magic mushrooms, tuned in, mostly to the Beatles, Ravi Shankar, and the Jefferson Airplane, and dropped out of architecture school. I moved to Boston, joined a commune, and began learning to cook natural foods and studying Chinese medicine. Some historians call this period of political, cultural, and religious ferment America's Third Great Awakening. Student radicals and hippie dropouts were united in our rejection of techno-industrial society. The old rules no longer applied. We would build a new world, more egalitarian, more peaceful, and more free, with love. By the mid to late 70s, many boomers, including me, had married, taken jobs, and begun families. Many of us lacked the practical skills needed to live on the land or the social graces necessary to thrive communally. Soon some of us grew despairing or cynical about politics and civic engagement. Were we thwarted by the system, or had we simply been distracted by the dailiness of life? Some of us forgot our original vision, forgot our purpose, forgot our revolution of love.